Hello everybody, it's vanburman here. Welcome to another one of my videos. I want to talk about Arsenal again today, which I haven't actually spoke about for a while. Can't remember the last video I did on them. But I do want to talk today about, obviously, the news we've had regarding Jack Wilshere. He's going to be out for another 3 months. And I just feel, though, as though Jack Wilshere's going down that slippery slope where he's missed a lot of his development time and he's got injured quite a lot, and I just think that it's going to be difficult for him to come back from this. I no doubt he'll try and hopefully he will be able to, but the amount of injuries this guy keeps picking up, as much as I love the guy and I love seeing him play for Arsenal, and he is the physical embodiment of the fans' representation on the pitch. That's the best way I can describe to him, and trying to describe Jack Wilshere to a non-Arsenal fan is difficult at times, because, you know, they don't really get it, they don't understand. I suppose, I mean, best way you can even sort of describe it is, well, think about Gerrard, I suppose. The fact of, you know, he's taken the fans' place on the pitch, but the thing about Jack is he plays the way that the Arsenal fans want to play for Arsenal. You know, really high energy, trying to burst through the lines. Doesn't always make the right decisions, but his intentions are always pure. So, you know, the fans do have a difficult time getting, you know, finding negatives about Jack, I find, and I find it difficult as well. Sometimes to our disadvantage, because, you know, we should be judging all players pretty equally, but for Jack it's a little bit different, which, you know, is good for him, really. He can get away with it a little bit, but just the constant injuries doing him no good at all, and I'm extremely disappointed to hear about this, which means he won't be back until the new year. Same with Riziki as well. I'm disappointed that he's injured. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, we get another injury and yeah, it will be okay, but I don't know, we just seem to have the worst luck. Although at what point do you start saying it's something other than luck, and I'm not really sure about that at the minute. The other thing I wanted to talk about, because no one seems to agree with me on this one, apart from a few Arsenal fans, so I just thought I would put this out there, see what you guys think. But I'm a huge fan of Francis Coquelin. Ever since he came back from Charlton, he's been unbelievable. Easily one of our best players. I know he didn't win Player of the Season, but he was, on the Arsenal website, he was pretty high up on that one. So I do think that, you know, he was a strong contender for it. I don't think he will be again this year, assuming he does stay fit, although he's really not had any problems and he's been knocked about a lot in the Premiership, as you would expect for a guy that plays a position that he does, and he is so integral to the Arsenal team. I mean, we've not really, apart from the opening game, not conceded, really. We conceded 1 since then. So, you know, I do find it difficult to go on at him, or, you know, find any negatives for him. He's had 1 or 2 bad games, which, you know, all players will have. I mean, he's stepped up to Premier League better than anyone could have hoped for at the time, and he's just taken the bull by the horns. And for me, well, this is the sticking point I get with a lot of people. I do, maybe sometimes I'm a bit over enthusiastic, and I will say that, you know, he's world class, which, okay, he's not, but he has put in world class performances. And obviously, to be deemed world class, you pretty much got to do that week in, week out, and for a prolonged period of time, which he's not had a chance to do yet anyway. So, you know, the jury's out on that one. But for me, this is a sticking point. For me, Francis Coquelin is the first name on the team sheet. You know, if you said any game, doesn't matter who we're playing, here's the team sheet, who you putting on there first, it would be Coquelin. And a lot of people just sort of like sigh at me and say, well, you know, what about Sanchez? I think he's more important. What about Koscielny? I think he's more important. And my argument to that would be that for a game, we've got guys to replace them. If you take Sanchez out, you can put the Ox in. If you take Koscielny out, you can put Gabriel or Mertesacker in. You take Czech out, you can put Ospina in. You know, these guys that are coming in can all do a job, but if you take Coquelin out, you put in Arteta or Flamini. And while I do like Arteta and Flamini, you know, they've both shown themselves to be loyal servants to the club and, you know, totally committed. I just think that Coquelin does it better. So better to a point where the difference of not having him in the team will be astronomical when he eventually, because he will obviously have to come out for some games at some point. When he does come out, you'll notice it. You notice it when he has a bad game, which, like I say, isn't very often, but when he does, you see the defensive side of the performance, you know, tumble, quite frankly, I think. And he wins balls to spring counter-attacks as well, which, I mean, you know, I think it's invaluable. And when I do watch him, when I do watch the games, and I see Coquelin playing, the amount of times I think he's fouled someone, literally do. You know, he's come from behind to try and win the ball, and I'm thinking, oh, what have you done? You've gone in, you've reckless, you've, you know, taken the guy out. And when you look back at the replays, you see that he has taken the ball. He might have got a little bit of the player before or after, but he's taken the ball every time, pretty much. And I think it's just incredible. You know, the amount of times he does it, and he saved us from a lot of really dangerous situations. And I think that, well, the other side of the coin that we have at the minute is that we're not putting away our chances. But don't get me wrong, that's worrying that we're not putting away our chances. However, you've got to be creating the chances to put them away. And like Wenger said, and I think you've got to keep a cool head on it. And this is the way I would see it. This is where I see it when I, you know, in Football Manager or FIFA or anything like that, whatever it is. As long as you're creating the chances, putting yourselves in the opportunity to score the goals, they're going to come eventually. The goals are going to start flooding in. And if Arsenal carry on the way they are doing, with the amount of chances they're creating, you know, they're going to be a couple of teams that we're going to totally destroy this season. You know, because a couple of games out just click. You know, Walcott will stick in all those tap-ins. Giroud will put in all those headers. And I think it is really, need to give a bit of praise to Ozil and Cazorla and Sanchez. You know, they've all been putting in a shift. I know Sanchez missed quite a few chances so far, but, you know, a lot of it's been unlucky, hitting the post and stuff like that. And especially last weekend, Jack Butland had an absolute blind. I really do like Jack Butland. I hope he does become one of the top keepers and ultimately replace Joe Hart. That's something for another day, though, I suppose. And yeah, so we have to see where we go from there. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about it. Most people probably disagree with me with the Coquelin thing. Personally, I've sort of said, a lot of people say Matic is the best in the Premier League, but I don't know. I just think Coquelin's got it in him to usurp Matic, especially with the start Chelsea have had, and Matic has been found wanting so far, whereas Coquelin, I don't know. We'll judge him over a 12-year period, 12-month period, I suppose. We'll go from December to December and see, and judge him then. But as far as I'm concerned, at the minute, Coquelin's on the high, and long may it continue as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.